Hello, I'm Brigantia of Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Tuesday and welcome to our series Pagan Problems. Today we're talking about rites of passage. A rite of passage in simplest terms is a pivot point in life. It takes a person from the end of one chapter in their lives and begins the next. And these can be exciting moments. They can test our courage. They can seem big or small from an outsider's perspective. They can come with all the pomp and circumstance a ceremony can bring, or it can be a very private moment within your own mind that still changes everything. Now, whatever form a rite of passage takes in our lives, it does create a line. There was our lives before it occurred, and now there will be our lives after it's occurred. That kind of alteration can be overwhelming and make us feel really unsure of ourselves. And no matter what the change involves, we are going to need to summon some level of courage because we're going to be called to rise to the occasion of our new circumstances, likely taking on different responsibilities than what we had before, and hopefully enjoying new freedoms that we didn't previously possess. But we can't go on living exactly the way that we did before because that mode of being is no longer adequate. We will evolve. We'll go through a process of refinement, and it may feel uncomfortable, probably uncomfortable for quite a while because it's unfamiliar territory. But it helps if we think of ourselves as a butterfly emerging from a cocoon. We have these lovely new wings, and they were made for flying. Now, there are several common rites of passage, and of course there's too many to mention, so I'll just mention a few. But for instance, the first day at school, going through puberty. Ooh, what a process that was. Aren't we all glad that only happens once? But also the rite of passage of falling in love for the first time, when you graduated from school, got your first job, got married, had children, or when you started caring for older parents and then eventually becoming that elder generation of your family. And then on the spiritual front, there's even more transitions we can go through. That moment when we decided we were going to explore our spirituality, learning as much as we can about a path that felt like, maybe this is where we belong. When we learned to web weave with the like-minded. When we began building a strong relationship with a patron deity. When we become teachers in due course, as many of us do. And just growing and maturing into a person who's going to be a benefit to their spiritual community. These are all rites of passages that we have the opportunity to go through. And all the things mentioned, from the spiritual to the mundane, these are life-changing experiences, and there's no going back from them. Once something happens, it happens. And marking the occasion with some kind of ceremony, or at least some recognition, is a way of helping us to move forward and hopefully feel good about doing so. There's a lot of value in acknowledging change, whether we're mourning the transition or if we are eagerly embracing it. And acceptance that things will not be the same as they were before is a very healthy and cathartic thing to do. So however we choose to do this, privately or with a more public event, what matters most is resolving within our spirit not to look back. Not to try to recreate the former path, not trick ourselves into believing that all will be as it was before. To do so would be to attempt stagnation, and stagnation of any kind is a slow decay. Therefore, it is change and evolution. Those are the things that keep us alive, as well as opportunities for us to become healthy and to remain so healthy. Now, during these kind of in-between times that the rites of passage represent, we don't have to have all the answers about what lies ahead. And I think a lot of our anxiety about these moments really stems from not knowing what happens next and being worried about it. But this is a beginning for us. We are explorers in a new world, and there's a lot of joy to be found in that state of being. Even though we might still have some nervousness, that nervousness does not have to overpower us. We just need to nurture our curiosity and our excitement about what's to come, and allow apprehension to fall to the side, and not be deliberately feeding more energy into that sensation of apprehension. A rite of passage marks an adventure, and so we might as well enjoy it. So, those were just a few thoughts that I have about rites of passage. Next week, we're going to be talking about crones and sages, so I hope you'll be back for that. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comment section below, or come see us on Discord at Blackbird's Brew. As always, there's a link to join in the description box below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!